In Dynamics CRM 2013 and onwards, Microsoft introduced a new feature called Business Rules. Business rules allow you to set conditions and actions to occur without actually having to program anything. Business rules can be set at various levels. If we go into our entities and go into, say, our account entity, we can see that we've got business rules listed here, and we can create business rules. We can also go into individual fields, open up a field and set business rules. And we can also go into our forms, open up a form and set business rules up here, which will apply to the form, or we can double click an individual field and go into the business rules there. If we go into our pilot course entity and click the business rules, now click the new business rule, and that will open up the form to start creating a new rule. As you can see, the first thing we need to do is give it a name. So for example, let's call this one idea unlocked when empty. So what we need to do first of all is we need to create a condition. So if we click the add condition button, and here what we can do is we can specify any of the fields that are related to our entity. We can say what the condition needs to be, so equals, doesn't equal, does not contain data, contains data, and so on. And if relevant, what the value or the field or the formula should be with an actual value. Depending on what we select for the operator will determine what the type and the value boxes allow us to do. So for example, if we say does not contain data, the fields disappear. We're going to leave this condition at does not contain data, but we'll change the field to originating idea. So once we've got that set, if we click the tick, and that will save the condition. So the next thing we want to do is add an action that will occur when this condition is met. So if we click add action, and we'll select one of these options. We have show error message, which will obviously pop up an error message. We've got set field value, which will set a field to a particular type. We have set business required, which will set a field to the business required. We have set visibility, so we can hide field. We can set default value, so we can set a value on another field, or we can lock or unlock a field. Let's lock and unlock a field. So the field we will choose is the status. And we shall set the status to unlock. Again, click tick. Now if we want, we can add an else statement here. So for example, if originating idea does not contain data, then we'll perform this. If we add else, then we can make it perform another action if the opposite of that is true. In addition, we can also add multiple conditions and multiple actions. Once we're done with our logic, you'll notice that it's set to draft. So if we say save, we get these extra options. So save as will allow us to save it as another business rule, so that is if we wanted to copy it. Save and close will obviously save and then close the form down, or we have activate. So at the moment it's in draft. Now that means this rule is not going to get applied to the live system. However, when it's in draft, the rule will apply when we're previewing a form. So for now, let's save and close. So because we've got the scope to all forms, if we were to go into a form through here, we can click this preview create or update form. And by viewing it through here, because we're doing it as a preview, then any draft rules will get actioned. If we want the rule to apply to the live system, we highlight the rule, either open it and click activate, or highlight it and then click activate from the menu there and click activate. So now let's publish all customizations and then close the form down.